Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. This video is going to answer a question that I got the other day about the ejection pattern of the handgun. Specifically, we're talking about a 1911, but this will go just about any handgun. Okay, a lot of it has to do with the slide velocity. So if you this is a good way to test this. Disassemble the gun, okay, field strip it, without the springs, without the barrel, without any of that, just work the slide back and forth. Now it's going to stick a little at the rear because of the, can you name it? Disconnect, okay, the disconnect is what disconnects the trigger. Okay, you fire the round, your trigger finger is still holding the trigger down. It fires, goes back in the battery, rechambers a new cartridge, and you let go of it, you ease up forward on it. You hear that click? That's the disconnect, reconnecting the trigger bow to the sear. Okay, without that right there, it wouldn't work. Okay, so you're going to have a little sticking right there where that little camming surface is, a little hollow spot inside the slide is that. But other than that, it should cycle perfectly smoothly back and forth. If you know how to completely field strip completely strip it, pull all the guts out of it, you can easily do that. It should slide back and forth along its rails absolutely smoothly. Okay, and what your problem may be is simply there's lack of lubrication, or you have a high spot on your rails in relation to your slide. Now, I can tell you a little crazy secret. You can go in and spend a lot of money, which is really not that expensive, but you can spend a bit of money and buy what they call lapping compound. Or you can use friggin' toothpaste. Or metal polish that has an abrasive. Or metal polish that you add just a little tiny bit of baking soda. Baking soda is an abrasive. Did you know that? That's what's in toothpaste. Okay? And some toothpaste. There's a very microscopic abrasive in there. Alright? You just work it back, forth, with, of course, the gun completely empty, field stripped down, all the recoil mechanisms of springs and all that completely taken out, and you just work it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, stop. Say you do it 50 times, stop, wipe, and clean all that crap off the gun. I mean, thoroughly. Make sure it doesn't get down that plunger tube or any of the other working surfaces. Clean all that mess off. Put a little dab of oil on the inside of rails and on the rails of the frame. Okay? Work it back and forth and it should be absolutely smooth. Okay? Except if you haven't completely gutted the frame, you're still going to have that where it's pushing the disconnect up and down. That is just part of it. If you cannot gut the frame, then you're still going to have that little bit of parasitic drag. Just drop oil on the disconnector, the top of it, and on the bottom side of the slide where that's at. That's some of it. Now the ejection pattern. Most of these guns have what is called a GI blade extractor. Let me pause the camera, see if I can get this thing up. Well, apparently I stopped the damn thing, and I'm not sure where I stopped that. So let's say, okay, it was where I disassembled this booger right here. All right, you got to be careful. Watch your springs and all that. God, I don't know. But anywho, this little piece right here is your ejector. Okay, I'm not sure how well, because I'm on my laptop. I've got to get ready for work here in a little bit. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay? It has two legs, two pins. One of them, the front one, is cut out just a little bit, and a roll pin is driven in it. Some of the newer guns, they just Loctite it. Okay? Because when it's assembled, the slide prevents it from moving around. It's going to stay right where it's at. But when you disassemble it, that's the reason you want the Loctite and or the pin, the original pin, to hold it in place. Now this one here has a little nipple right there. Let's see if I can hold it up against my bright face so you can see it. So it starts the ejection pattern a little faster. Now there are some a little bit longer than that. Number one cause, as I've already stated, is low slide velocity. If the slide is not perfectly fit and if it's not perfectly smooth, and it should, I mean, without the disconnect here. And really all you got to do to get that disconnect up and out of, to move it out of the way, is take your mainspring housing out, which would require you knocking this pin out, slide it out of the way, and take the leaf spring out. Okay, that'll relieve that pressure and it'll fall out of the way, and then you can work your slide. You should be able to assemble your slide, turn it down, and it should slide right on down. Matter of fact, something of that nature. It should slide very easily forward, and then you turn it the other way and slide very easily back. And I'm hoping I got the part where I was talking about you can use toothpaste, because toothpaste has an abrasive. You can work it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, they make a laughing compound that works faster and better, but toothpaste will work. Baking soda in water will work, but you got to make sure you get all that crap off your gun, because if you don't, it's going to eat parts up, okay? But this is a fairly easily changeable part, and what you want to look for is on the little nipple, the end here, that it is not bent or damaged. Any high spots on the frame will be shiny, okay? Over time, natural wear and tear, it will smooth all that out, but to not exactly accelerate, but to knock those high spots off, you use that little bit of toothpaste or metal polish that has the abrasive in it. And that's one of those things like mag wheel polish and metal polish, not paint, not polish for paint, but like for metal. They have an abrasive, okay? And you can just put your drop or two in there. Baking soda or the toothpaste, as I've already mentioned, just work it, wipe it off. You know, say you cycle it 50 times, wipe it off inside and out. Make sure all of the abrasive is gone. Drop your oil, a couple of drops of oil on it, put your slide back on it, and work it, okay? The other thing is a weak extractor. We've covered that in other videos, but if you don't tension the extractor in here really well, you're going to have problems. Now, the problem with this gun, it would not extract, period. I got it set correctly, and within 2 magazines, it began to fail again because the damn extractor was just pure garbage. After reading a lot more in the last few weeks, Nolan is the easiest part to purchase. The manufacturer has the parts that generally fall in and are correct right out of the box. There's not a whole lot of fitting you have to do, but I did the Wilson Combat, tensioned it correctly after I fitted it, and it works perfect. Okay, every now and again I'll have a hiccup where one will come back and hit me in the head. Wear your glasses. But generally what it's due to is either the extractor's bad, the ejector is bent, and or the tension on the extractor or the slide velocity is low, is what I should say. But yeah, just field strip it so you got the frame and the slide, and look for high spots where it's shiny. Okay, those are high spots on it. Now, there's supposed to be a little bit of a high spot here and at the very rear. That's just the way they're made. But if it does it freely, work back and forth, back and forth. And see if I can pause this thing. Okay, got it barreling all of it out. All right, because of that, at the rear, you got that disconnect that's going to be pushing against the bottom of the slide. But once you get past that disconnect, it should slide real easy. And if you can take your mainspring housing on, pull the leaf spring out without disassembling anything else, and let me tell y'all something, putting that baby back is not easy. So you better damn well wear some safety glasses, and you better be ready for a fight to get that damn pin back in there. But it should slide easy. Now, okay, it needs to be easy. And if I had that disconnect out, and I did this after I Duracoated it, because you see I Duracoated the frame and everything. But I went in there, I used the toothpick trick, I put it on there, and I just kept working it until it was smooth. And without the disconnect in there, I could just move it, and it would slide all the way to the front and all the way to the rear. With the hammer cocked all the way back out of the way, it's not going to touch the hammer. So you don't have to worry about it. But, you know, you got that See where it's shiny? Okay, that's where that disconnect rides, and then you got your little gap there. But anywho, I hope this answers some questions. If for some reason that baby is damaged, you can go to Brownells, Midway USA, numerous gun parts all over the place. You can buy the correct part. Do not damage the original taking it off, okay? Because if the new one makes the gun unreliable, it fails to extract or eject, period, or it damages it because it's just not right for the gun. You know, that's where I love Brownells, because you can text them. You can tell them what kind of gun you got, what your issue is, and they can give you a series of remedies. But slide velocity is the #1 issue, okay? Try a different lubricant. Try a heavier lubricant. Try a 30-weight motor oil. You know, disassemble the gun, completely clean off one, put on another one, try it out, and that's the way you go. I grease my rails, and they run. So there you go. And I don't think during the Okefenokee baptism that it would have worked as well if I hadn't had grease on it. But we are still exploring different ones. I'm gonna try this new one. Well, it's probably not new, but Gunfighter and several others. We're gonna keep working at it. I'm gonna find the combination that will make it right. And on my 1911 Colt combat unit, I'm probably going to replace that beaver tail or the hammer, because we had crap get between the beaver tail and the hammer, and I could not get it to do crap. I mean, I locked the gun down tight. That ain't gonna go. That ain't gonna fly with Mac Daddy 1911 A1. Hell to the no. Anywho, I hope this video is helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all be good.